Mr. Mauricio Herrera, thank you very much for being here on theboxingbar.com and welcome.
Oh, thank you, man.
And first of all, I'm going to have to start by calling you a thief for stealing the show the other day, man, on the HBO pay-per-view card.
Yeah, you can call me a thief. I mean, I was happy to. The fans liked it, that they enjoyed it. We put on a great show, me and Mike, and yeah, from what I hear, everybody says we stole the show, and I'm happy for that. I'm hopefully get in the ring soon and perform again and please the crowd again.
And it's just been under a week. I mean, tomorrow's going to be the week mark, but from a brutal fight like that, I mean, how are you feeling physically right now?
I feel good now. I mean, I healed pretty fast. The day before yesterday, my swelling went down, just purple around the eyes a little bit, but my body feels fine. I'm not too sore or anything. I mean, Mike didn't really attack my body much, so I feel good right now.
And what's your mental state or emotional state at this moment? And I'm referring to your motivation or your spirits to get back into the ring.
It's actually really high for the most it's ever been. I'm like still excited from the fight that I just can't wait to get back in there and do it again. I feel like a winner. I feel I can get out there and give any of the top guys a run for their money, and I feel great. I mean, I'm excited and just feel like hurry up and get in there again.
And let's talk about the day of the fight last week. How was the training like? Were you pretty much ready to go?
Yeah, it was. I mean, we trained pretty hard, and we did a lot of different things, and working in the beach, in the sand, and so I was going in real confident. I finally got my weight down, where it was no problem, where I didn't have to really suffer, towards the end to make weight. So my weight was already cut. So by the time I was in the ring, I looked like the smaller guy. Usually, sometimes I put on a lot of weight back on, but being that I cut the weight off good this time, I seemed like I couldn't put any too much weight on with the day of the fight, but I was ready to go. I mean, I felt good. I mean, there was a lot of people. It was exciting, and nothing was going to bother me or knock me off track, and I was ready to go.
And knowing you were going up against Mike Alvarado, who's a very tough opponent, what type of things were running through your head, were running through your mind, walking to the ring that particular night?
I was a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. He's a strong guy. I was more, thinking about his body. I know he was physically stronger. I knew that. I knew he was a little bigger. And I was just thinking of how I was going to handle that. But everything else I was ready for. I mean, I felt I fought a lot of tough guys in the past. Also a hard hitter. The Provoknikov was a hard hitter. And flashy guys like Mike Dallas. And a lot of other guys in my career. Prendarvis. I mean, I've had a lot of good prospects. So I wasn't, it wasn't too bad when I was going to fight Mike Alvarado. I mean, the setting was bigger and everything, but once the bell rings, I kind of forget all that and just go to work, and I did that.
And after, let's say, the first 3 or 4 rounds, how did you see your chances on winning at that particular point?
So good, I took his best punch, and I said, you know what, I didn't think he can hurt me once I felt his punch, which ended up being a mistake because I was taking, some of his hard shots, and it was, doing damage to my left eye, and I was like, oh man. I thought, oh, here we go again. I feel like deja vu. It was back in the Russian fight. I got caught early in the right and on my left eye, the same eye, and I thought, you know what, he can't hurt me. For some reason, I didn't feel he had the punch to knock me out or daze me, and I think that was the problem. That I ended up staying toe to toe, and if it wasn't for my left eye shutting, that's the only thing. I just wish my eye wouldn't swell up so easily. And that's why I was taking his best punches, and he never really rocked me or anything. But I was feeling good. I was still making a miss. I was still countering him, getting my punches in there and making points. So I knew I was still in the fight.
And it was obviously a seesaw battle. I mean, you guys were going back and forth. I was over at a local sports bar here watching the fight, and you know how people could be on the pre-fights before the main events. They kind of look at it like, hurry up and I want these fights to end before it gets to the main event. But after the first few rounds, I saw everybody in that bar started turning around and started to pay attention. Next, after about 3 or 4 rounds, you just start, hearing everybody saying, hey, this is a good fight. And as you guys were going, you started hearing all the oohs and ahs and all that stuff from the people. And we didn't hear them again for the rest of the night. So I would say it was a good thing for you.
No, yeah, I was really happy, with everybody standing and cheering. And it was really exciting. After the fight, I felt really good. I know the judges saw it for Mike. But I still felt good. I mean, I felt it could have been a draw also. It would have been nice too if I can fight Mike again. I know I'd do some things differently, but I was still happy with my performance. I stood up to the bully, I guess you could say, and everybody saw it. I gave it an exciting fight. I'm glad the fans liked it. And I never want to be in a boring fight, and I like watching exciting fights myself. So, I just can't wait till the next one.
When an intimidator fails to intimidate, he himself becomes intimidated, and that's very much true, especially in a fight like this, when everybody thought Mike Alvarado was just going to walk over you, and you gave him a run for his money. Now, there was moments towards the last few rounds when I thought Alvarado was kind of even glancing over somewhere, like if he was looking at his corner, looking for the ring post to come and hit you with it or something.
Yeah, you know what? I did see that. That's true. When I watched the fight back, there was a time where he kind of stopped and looked over at the crowd. I don't know if he wanted them to help him or somebody. And I looked at it. I thought maybe he thought, what more do I have to do to get this guy out of here? It almost like as if he was giving it everything he had, and I was still in there.
Yeah, he was frustrated. He was pretty frustrated.
Yeah, I think he was. And especially I made him miss some of his big shots. I think that was taking a lot out of him too. He was trying to finish me off, and I knew he was getting a little tired. But a lot of people thought I was tired in the 8th and 9th. The only thing it was the thing was, it was just that my eye was completely shut, and I was just trying to adjust to it. Trying to get my stance and back and see how he was gonna throw. And I was using one eye, so it was kind of hard. So I was trying to. I knew he was pumped and he got excited in those rounds. Until I had to stop his momentum, and by holding him and hugging him. But other than that, I wasn't feel tired at all. I still thought I was in the fight. I was still throwing back. I didn't want to give him any breaks either, and I was there till the end.
And would you say, in your opinion, did he have a lot of pop to his punches, or did he just kind of look like, he hits really hard? Because it looked like he was throwing haymakers. Either you were just taking him well, or he doesn't have as much power as we all thought.
He does have pretty good power. Like I said before, I think I told somebody else, I think the Provodnik will hit harder than him. When he hit me, it never was a punch that I knew would daze me, but it was effective. It would do damage to me, my face. But some of the punches he threw, I kind of went along with them, and it kind of threw me back. So I think it made it look, more worse than it was. But I'm not taking nothing away from Mike. He is strong. I mean, physically he's strong. He can push you back, and he's a little heavy-handed, but I wouldn't say he's, one of the hardest guys I faced.
And there was a lot of times where he was throwing a whole bunch of punches. You kind of took some and you moved from some, but you could tell the referee was kind of looking in to maybe have stopped the fight at any point at that point. And right when we were thinking, okay, the referee's going to come in if he doesn't answer back, that's when he started swinging again. And, that's how, you had the crowd going, back and forth, because a lot of times we were thinking, and even the ref, you could see him, ready to step in, and all of a sudden you would just come out of nowhere and start, throwing him back.
No, yeah, I watched the ref, would get in close to look, and I knew I was going to throw a flurry. I mean, as soon as he was done punching and making a miss, I wanted to come back strong and with flurry of punches. The ref probably thought, okay, he's not done. Okay, I'll let it go. Right when he's moments where you wanted to step in, I'd come up on top with punches. And I was telling the guys in the commentators before we had a meeting, I said I love fighting off the ropes. I just never go on there. Guys don't really push me on there strong enough. But Mike did get me on the ropes, and I think I got to show another side of me that I can be a little tricky and strong on the ropes.
Did your corner or referee ever threaten to stop the fight?
No, my trainer did ask me if I wanted to stop the fight. I remember walking back to the corner. I didn't know how bad my eye was. I didn't know if I was cut. And for some reason, I thought the worst. I thought I have a big gash, and my eyeballs probably hanging out. So I went to my brother in the corner and asked him how bad it was. Is it real bad? Tell me the truth. And no. And then I think my trainer then thought maybe by me saying that, if you want me to stop the fight, he asked me, do you want me to stop the fight? No, don't stop the fight. I just wanted to know how bad it was, because I didn't know if they would lie to me and tell me, no, it's good, because I know my brother, when he fought, he also fights. He had a gash on his head, and he asked me if it was bad, and I said no. And later on in the stretcher room, he's like, what did you lie to me? I thought gash was big. And you guys told me it was a small little cut. So in the same position, I thought that wasn't I thought maybe it was really bad. But I just want to know how bad it was in order to, if I have to move more and not try to really take too many chances if it was really cut, But when they told me it wasn't that bad, I believed them, and I said, yeah, okay. So that way I can mix it up some more. That was the only thing. I wish my eye wasn't shut. I would have mixed it in pretty good with him. But the only thing that was stopping me was from him landing one more punch and cutting it open, and maybe the rest stopping it. Other than that, I loved trading with Mike.
The 10th bell rings, the fight's over. How did you feel at that point? What were your chances in your mind at that point that you were going to hopefully pull it off? What was your mindset at that point?
Right up into the end of the 10th round, I remember just that we both went throwing flurries, and we were both going at it. And I felt, I felt strong by that point. I didn't care. I was numb by that time, my face, and I just wanted to go out with everything. And I felt, when the bell rang, I was like still wanted to go on. I probably threw another punch after the bell rang. He ran to jump on the ropes, but I went back and I knew I had a feeling it was gonna be close. To me, it was like they were telling me I won it. It's kind of hard to judge the fight after when you're in the mix in the late rounds. But I know I had a lot of the early rounds, and I know a lot of the late rounds were close. And I still had a shot. I still felt that I had a shot of winning it. So I thought it was gonna be real close, but I think we're gonna take it. But when they gave it to Mike, I wasn't shocked. I said, the judges were gonna go either way. I don't know. Maybe they said they went more with the power this time. Usually go with some judges. I think would go with the more punches landed, or sometimes the more effective guy with the power punches. I didn't win with him with this one.
And in a hard-fought war like that, I mean, both parties usually, like you said, they both think that they won at the end of the fight. How did you feel after the decision was given and you got back to your room, let's say that night? What type of things ran through your mind?
Actually, I was when the crowd, cheered me on as I was leaving. I was feeling happy on performance, as if I felt, I still felt a winner, like I won. I was excited that everybody loved the fight, and went to my dressing room, and my trainer was the one that was really all mad and complaining and screaming, and I was calm. My brother Thompson and Alex and my brother Albert, my dad, they were happy, hugging me, and I was happy. I was happy with my performance. And I thought, what? Well, they gave it to Mike. What can we do? We can't do anything. It was done is done. And I said, what? I was happy. I said, we went out. We showed everybody in the crowd what I'm made of. I think the guys at 140 now see what I'm made of. And, hopefully now I get to fight. I still have a chance to fight any of those guys. I think, just want to tell them that, I'm somebody, but you have to be 100% in shape to fight me. I think I'm not going to let anybody rest in there, or get a break. And if any of the 140s coming to fight me, I'm going to be ready. And I hope I made that statement.
You sure did. Is it still too early, or have you heard rumors or talks yet about a possible rematch with him? Or if not, even the winner of the co-main event, Brandon Real, said he's going up to 140.
Yeah, we did. My trainer got a call. I think it was the next morning. They called him up already, and the matchmaker, Top Rank, told me we'd be interested for a fight with Brandon Real for a big payday down the line. And he had called me up, and I said, oh, yeah, we'll take Reals. We'll take whoever they wanted to fight. I can get in really good shape. I know I learned from this fight. I can fight smarter and harder next time, and I said, bring any of those guys on. Yesterday they were talking to me. Some guys were mentioning Maidana. I would like to fight him too. Salto. A lot of those guys are the big punchers. I think we can make exciting fights. Anybody they put me with, I think will give a crowd their money's worth.
Oh, you sure will, especially after seeing you this past weekend. How far or how distant from, let's say, now, do you see a world title or world championship fight happening?
I hope anytime this year. I think I can pull it off. I mean, if they give me the right fights this year, I hope by this year I can become a world champ. I know that hopefully in 3 months I get another fight. Hopefully in July they give me another big fight, and winning that, hopefully it gets my chances for a world title. I know there's Danny Garcia that's won a belt. I would like to fight him. I would like to take that belt. Anybody, I think I'm ready. I think I proved that I can hang in there with the big guys, and any night I can beat any of these guys.
In a fight like this, I believe there can only be winners. When there are supposed to be a double main event with fighters like Brandon Rios and Juan Manuel Marquez, whose fights headline the card, and you pretty much, like I said, took over that card, you and Mike. Chin and heart are things that you can't earn, learn, or buy it. You're either born with it or you're not. And there are a lot of people, or a lot of good fighters in the 140s and the 147s. You have a lot of great fighters there. You have nothing to be ashamed of and everything to be proud of, my friend. And congratulations to you once again, man.
Oh, no, thank you so much. And I thank the fans. I thank everybody, my family, my friends. I mean, everybody pushed me. They're the ones that helped me get through that fight. And I'm sure every other fight I'm going to get. I mean, with their cheers and everything, that just keeps me going.
Thank you very much, Mauricio. Congratulations once again, and I hope you return to theboxingbar.com, man.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Thank you, man. Just call me. I'll be ready anytime.